The first time Elena met Chica, it was in a quiet European cafe. His deep laugh filled the room, his gentle smile warmed her heart, and his words carried pride in his Igbo roots in Nigeria. Elena, a young foreign woman searching for true love, felt she had finally found her soulmate. Their love grew quickly. Chike introduced her to the taste of African dishes, the sound of Igbo greetings, and stories of festivals filled with drums and dances. Elena listened with glowing eyes, believing that love was enough to carry them across any distance. When Chiki asked her to marry him, she said yes without hesitation. Together they journeyed to his homeland. The air in his village smelled of roasted yam and palm wine. The talking drums welcomed them. The elders offered kola nuts and blessings, and children danced around Elena with joy. She felt like a queen chosen by love. But Chiki carried a secret in his heart, a truth he never dared to share. In his land, there was a law as old as the ancestors themselves. If a wife betrayed her husband, madness would strike her without mercy. Cheek told himself Elena would never do such a thing, and so he remained silent. His silence, wrapped in love, became the seed of tragedy. At first, Elena's new life was beautiful. The women taught her how to tie wrappers, the children sang for her. Chike worked hard to provide, but his long absence made her lonely. She missed her old world and the freedom she once knew. One evening, a stranger listened to her complaints and loneliness overcame her. One mistake happened. A night she thought nobody saw. But in Igbo land, the earth has eyes and the ancestors never sleep. Soon Chaik fell sick, restless and weak. Elena watched with guilt but kept quiet. She told herself it was nothing. But silence in Igbo land can be deadlier than betrayal. The first signs came at night. Elena screamed in her sleep and ran barefoot into the dark. Soon she laughed and cried in the marketplace, tearing her clothes as villagers whispered. Mothers held their children close and said the curse had caught her. Chike begged her to confess, his voice shaking, but shame sealed her lips. Tears rolled down her cheeks, yet no words came, and the people said once, madness arrives, no confession can heal. The land had spoken. Chike ran to the elders in desperation, begging for medicine or sacrifice, but the oldest ruler shook his head and said, the law is older than us all. She should have confessed before the sickness fell on you. Now it is too late. Chike wept bitterly, asking what is love if it cannot save her, but the elder told him, love is strong, yet tradition is stronger. Silence is a curse, and a house built on silence will not stand. Chiki returned home with empty eyes. For the first time, he knew love was not enough. News of Elena's madness did not die with her screams. It spread beyond the village like Harmattan fire. From nearby towns to distant countries, people whispered of the foreign woman who loved deeply but broke under the weight of an unfamiliar culture. Some were shocked, some angry, some confused, but in Igbo land, the elders stood firm. They gathered the people, called the youths, summoned the mothers, and spoke to the fathers. Then they turned to the local broadcasters and demanded the story be told far and wide. Marriage in our land, they declared, is not just two lovers holding hands. It is families. It is ancestors. It is traditions that never sleep. Whoever joins us must know our ways, for to ignore them is to invite sorrow. The story of Chaike and Elena became more than a tragedy. It became a global parable. Elders with trembling but powerful voices said to the world through radio and television, before you step into marriage with an Igbo son or daughter, ask questions. Do not enter a river without knowing its depth. Do not carry fire in your bosom, thinking it will not burn. Love without knowledge is a dangerous fire, and silence is a curse that destroys. An old woman's voice shook the hearts of many as she warned, foreigners, do not rush into our homes blind. Ask about our do's and don'ts. Ask about the traditions that bind us. Speak to our people in your country. Learn our ways before you say yes, for ignorance destroys faster than hate. Globally, Cheek's silence became a heavy example. His pain was broadcast, his brokenness shown. I loved her, he told Elena's grieving parents, but I thought silence was kindness. My silence destroyed us both. His words traveled like wind across nations, echoing in churches, mosques, schools, and family gatherings. Soon, young men across continents were warned, do not hide your truth when you love. Young women were told, do not marry blindly into a culture you do not understand. Parents began to speak more openly to their children. Before marriage, ask, ask again, and ask deeper. The Igbo elders closed their message with finality. Our traditions are not weak. They are strong, they are strict, they are alive. If you wish to marry into Igbo land, you must respect them. You must seek knowledge before you seek love. To ignore this is to walk into a fire you cannot quench. Thus, Elena's tragedy became a warning sung in songs, preached in gatherings, and written in newspapers across the world. Her love story was no longer remembered as romance, but as a sharp lesson. Marriage is not only about love, but about truth. Not only about passion, but about culture. Not only about two hearts, but about two worlds. And so the elders' words stand like iron pillars today. Before love joins two worlds, let knowledge lead the way. For tradition never sleeps, and silence can destroy even the deepest love.